make it. Too many people, they don't let me down, but I keep it real, no time for hating. I'm always on that PC trying to shape my sound. See, I'm just trying to make it. I've got some people I cannot let it down. Aiming for the top of the mountain. Not there yet, but I've left the ground. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Oh, I left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.
Think you muted, big dog. They don't hear you. Alright. What's good, everybody? What's good? This your boy Big Op in this motherfucker. So, tonight we got some shit for you. So I know y'all been seeing all this crazy shit that's been going on with Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, Kelsey Harris, Rock Nation. And the reason why this show is happening, first of all, shout out to my dog JBJ, because I was thinking about this. I hit him up like, hey, we need to talk about this shit. He was like, man, you mustn't get your notification. So first and foremost, I want to say this to y'all. Make sure that y'all that are subscribed, if you're not subscribed to the JBJ network, Let's Talk with JBJ, make sure you go and subscribe. And then second of all, make sure if you are subscribed that you hit on the bell, click on that mojo, and make sure that you are if I'm not mistaken, this as soon as you click on it, it should say all or something like that, right? It should say all. If it say personalized, make sure you click on it to say all. So check this out. We talking about this, and in my mindset, and I'm just adding on. JBJ can go ahead and say where he want to say. But my thing is, I'm looking at everybody that's covering everything that they're covering, and what's crazy is when it comes to this case, right? People are acting like the evidence don't fucking matter. That's where brothers like us have a problem. Now, if you come out and say I don't care what the evidence said because I'm such a married fan, at least we can respect you being the truth. Just like if you were 47, you already know who that is, the president right now. If you're a 47 fan, if you cool with whatever he does because you support him, just say that, so we know who not to waste our time on. So this video tonight is going to show some evidence that's been coming out, but then it's also going to show the motherfuckers who is cool with looking at the evidence. Forget he say, she say, looking at the evidence and not giving a damn. All right? So that's on my perspective why we doing it. JBJ, go ahead and say what you thinking about, you know what I'm saying, on this whole debacle.
All right, well, here y'all. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you good now. They squabbling out there.
I don't know what the hell going on. But look. Welcome back, y'all, to another one. But I know I've already said it, but I'm saying it again. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, and share. When you look at your notifications, man, make sure you got them clicked on all, because you ain't going to get them. I know you said something about it, but I'm just going to reiterate that shit, because I know that shit is annoying. People like, oh, I didn't even know you was live. I'm like, man, you got to check them notifications. YouTube will turn them hoes off. You will click on them and they'll turn them bitches off. You got to double check that shit. But yeah, we talking about the Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez situation. You pretty much gave a good rundown, so I'm just leaving it at that. You just let me know when you're ready to get into the video, because I'm the co-host tonight, y'all. I'm co-host.
I'm a co-host too. Ain't that crazy? They squabbling outside. Yeah. All right. So I'll go ahead and give an introduction to it. Like we said, there's evidence that's been coming out. Now, mind you, if you've been following the case since day one, like I have, the first time I heard this situation about the case, I didn't really pay it no mind like that, because, you know what I'm saying, I was like, that's crazy, what the hell going on? But then they started giving reports saying this happened, that happened, they had an eyewitness and all that. Then next thing I know, for some reason, it went from Tory saying in the police report that they put out, I was just trying to protect my girl, to Tory Lanez was the one that was trying to hurt his girl. And then you move fast forward after the trial and everything that's been going on, we are starting to see certain evidence that has been suppressed, certain evidence that we did not know was in the trial. Now, if you listen to the trial, you be like, oh, damn, I did hear that. I heard the same thing I said. I told JBJ the same thing, like, bro, a lot of shit ain't new. But then next thing you know, certain things started coming out, and you like, whoa, hold on, I didn't hear that. I've been following the case since day one, and I didn't hear certain things. So now we're going to actually get a chance to see these things that came out, or my bad, that didn't come out, that will actually show you if you're somebody that at first was like going with Megan Thee Stallion, whether you was a person that was cool with it because you're trying to have a good heart and you like, we got to protect black women. You don't know no better. But then you got the other people who do know better, but they're cool with saying fuck the evidence. And Jay, while we doing the video, I'm gonna have to send you some of my son and Tamika Mallory on their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because we may have some time left. But that's what we're talking about.
The hell they done did now.
While we doing the show, I'm gonna look it up and I'll send it to you, because I think we may have some time. So whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
All right, bet, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Didn't live through this shit in real time when it happened. Okay, so then they go to her interview. In her own words, I never put my hands on anybody. That's the interview with Gayle King, I'm assuming.
I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to
right.
the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. Yes. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, and he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times.
Okay. They say, but evidence says otherwise. So here they go into Megan and Kelsey having an alleged altercation physically. They say eyewitnesses and physical evidence indicate a physical fight between Megan Pete and Kelsey Harris. Kelsey had open wounds and cuts on her leg that were actively bleeding. No injuries were reported on Tory Lanez. The fight was between the women. So I'm guessing that these are Kelsey's legs over here. What I'm questioning is, are you trying to tell me that these scratches were leaking that much in the back seat to where it was just like that briefcase thing was like covered in blood? You're telling me that these minor lacerations did that? I wouldn't even call them lacerations, scratches. I guess they're trying to show a knot on Megan's head, which I don't doubt that there may have been something going on between Megan and Kelsey. I mean, that was the whole thing. They didn't want to Megan didn't want to tell her that she was messing with Tory. That was a thing. So here they go to lyrics. Who a snitch? I ain't never went
Hold on
to
real quick,
police
Jay.
with no names. I thought a bitch that
So real quick for everybody that's watching right now. So I was telling Jay we might as well just start going to the evidence. So right before that, they were showing that in the back seat of the SUV, the Escalade, the Cadillac truck they was in, they saw the weapon, which we got to be careful about showing, and they saw a bloody towel. And they were saying Meg might have stepped on glass, and then they was also saying how like trying to figure out they had the bullet fragments and all of that, right? So on this video, this simp is showing is he's trying to act like they didn't have a situation, right? They had a physical altercation. So what he's showing right now, which is on that website, 36 days later, they're showing on the left side Kelsey's legs that was all scratched up and bloody. She was sitting in the back seat with Tory. Meg was in the front seat. And the reason why they put this on this website is because they had physical altercations. So on the left side, you see Kelsey's legs is all cut up. And he's going to show a little bit later what Sean Kelly said, which was the main eyewitness that the girls were fighting, right? In the middle, you see there's a knot on Meg's forehead, right? To show that there was injuries. Now, mind you, Kelsey said, or try to make it seem like they wasn't fighting, they might have bumped into each other. And then Meg said that they didn't have a physical altercation. She didn't put her hands on nobody. She didn't get into no fight, right? But then they tried to say later in the investigations of what they reported to investigators and police was that Tory beat them up, was doing all this. Now, mind you, Tory about 5'5". Kelsey is like 5 foot. Meg is 5'10". They made it seem like he was He-Man or Arnold Schwarzenegger and just dragging them around, busting at people and beating them up. But then they said they also was trying to fight him off. But then when you look at the picture on the far right, Tory has no scars, no nothing. So I just wanted to say that real quick so to make sure y'all understand what he's talking about and where they're at. You got anything on that, Jay, before you start the video back?
And nothing outside of Kelsey must be real light skinned on the back of her thigh, because the front been browned up a little bit. That shit don't even look right. You see that shit? I'm the only one that
I thought that was
shit.
weird. It could be from the flash, because I was thinking the same thing.
Flash in probably angle, but yeah, man, look, but that's Kelsey with a knot on her head and her scratches and shit. Tory ain't got shit on him. There's been a lot of stories changed, but yeah, let's keep going through it because I knew that bitch was lying, but let's keep going. Right, I hit play.
that got her chain snatched caught a loss had something to say. Hey, Megan's song lyrics from Shots Fired. We already heard Megan say there's a witness. Y'all don't have to do that. They say his name is Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly's testimony. Eyewitness Sean Kelly told police and later testified under oath that he saw two women fighting in the street. Okay, so here's a recording, I guess they have, of Sean Kelly.
Wait.
No, it didn't. No?
They shot out of the car?
Well, the windows were open, that's why it sounded like either way. Yeah, I didn't know they were on my...
Now, what I find interesting, and I'm gonna let this play, is the top half of your presentation was trying to show that Megan never was shot. She stepped on glass. Excuse me. Now we get to Sean Kelly's testimony, and they're asking Sean about a shooting. So are we establishing that she was either not shot or was there a shooting?
Hey, look.
Okay.
Don't mind me. I'm speeding it up a little bit because this nigga talk slow as fuck. I don't know why he talking that goddamn slow. So I'm putting this shit on 1.15. Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna run that back a little bit more because they're asking him about shots fired.
No?
They shot out of the car?
Well, the windows were open, that's why it sounded
Shot out of the
either
car.
way. Yeah, I didn't
No,
really
they
see
were
it.
on my side. The girl opened the door. There was two girls fighting, and then they shot. And she got out of the car and crawled over.
So he says the two girls were fighting in the car. Okay? And one got out. Okay? Now, what I find strange is if the two girls were fighting in the car, Megan was supposedly riding in the front. Tory and Kelsey were in the back when she got out of the car. But we'll continue. And what did you see next?
Hey, we're gonna pause real quick, like before we go a little bit further. We got Miss Alexis from Texas up in the house. Say hey, girl.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all decided to do this because I've been thinking about this situation, and I honestly hope things come to fruition and he get his freedom. But yeah, thanks for doing this.
Shout out to Alexis. Op, say hey to Alexis before I click the video.
Howdy.
All right, y'all, let's keep going.
Sir, they were fighting. They had started fighting. The two girls, yes. Now, they could have been going at each other over the seats. But then, how would Kelsey's legs have been scratched up like that off of overhead fighting over the seat?
Easy. Megan jumped her ass in the back seat and Kelsey leaned back and put her legs up to keep her ass back, and she's probably scratching her fucking legs. Like, it's common fucking sense, buddy. I'm sorry for saying that.
Nah, so if you don't know how to fight, just say that.
I've never been in a fight in my life.
Yeah, you ain't never been in a fight in your life. Just say that, sir.
That shit crazy. All right, let's keep going.
Let's go through it. And what did you see next, sir? They were fighting. They had started fighting. The two girls, he says yes. And when you say the two girls were fighting, could you describe to the jury what you observed, what they were doing and what they were fighting about? Not about, but how they were fighting. He says they were pulling their hair and hitting each other, and it was quite violent. So they're having a hair pulling match, allegedly, overhand over the seat. That makes sense to me. They say it was quite violent. This is initially when you still only see the two girls, correct? He says yes. And what happened at this point? Was the fight continuing? Was it stopped? He says they were fighting for a while because I told my son to come into my room and I asked him to get into my bed, and then they were still fighting. They was all bent over, sort of wrapped in each other fighting. So I guess at this point, did they get out the car or what? So here, Sean Kelly's testimony. Sean Kelly testified that two women were fighting and one of them fired the first few shots while Tory was still in the car. He said Tory got out afterward and tried to take the gun away. Okay, so this is the testimony that they claim was suppressed. Says, okay, did you state, sir, that the shorter gentleman didn't come out of the car until the initial shot fireworks had started? He says, yeah. Excuse me? He says, yes. So when the initial shot or fireworks had started, isn't it true you stated that my client was still in the car? He says, yeah, I believe so. The shorter gentleman was in the car? He says, yes. Okay, and did you state that initially you saw the two girls fighting? I did, yes. Did you say that after you saw the two girls fighting, you saw one of the girls shoot, sir? He says, I believe so, but thereafter, did you say that the shorter guy got involved at that point trying to take the gun away? Objection. Overruled. Is that what you said? The witness says, yeah. Okay. So then they go here to Sean Kelly's statement to investigator. In a separate interview, Sean Kelly said he saw Kelsey and Megan fighting violently, with Kelsey, rear passenger, attacking Megan, front passenger. Okay, so they were kind of like what I was saying. The driver, Jaquan, tried to intervene. He stated that a woman fired the gun while Tory Lanez, described as the shorter black guy, was still in the backseat of the SUV. There's no way Tory fired the gun 5 times. Okay, so here, I guess this is audio of Sean Kelly.
The doors of the Escalade open, and
I hate that this fucking audio is all fucked up and nasty sounding.
the doors of the Escalade open, and the girl come out and pull open the passenger door and started screaming and yelling at somebody in the car.
So the girl who came out of the passenger, you're talking about the front passenger?
No, the rear.
The rear passenger. So the girl comes out of the rear passenger and she goes through the front passenger?
Yes.
And she opens up the car door?
Yes.
And then what happens?
They're screaming and shouting at each other, and they start fighting.
The two girls?
Yeah, I can see one feet coming out trying to kick her, and the other one's fighting, and then the passenger gets out.
So the girl who...
That's probably how we got the leg injuries right then. That one girl kicking her. So was Kelsey in the front seat and Megan and Tory was in the back seat, pretty much, right?
No, Megan was in the front passenger seat with the Tory driver, and Tory and Kelsey was in the back seat.
Okay, so then that means Kelsey went around after whatever the squabble was inside the car. Kelsey got out, went up to the front driver's side where Megan was at, and Megan was kicking at her. And Megan seemed like
not the driver's side, but the passenger side, because she was sitting behind me. So yeah.
Okay, here you go. Either way, yeah, right there. I didn't know she was sitting behind her, but she went to the front seat where Megan was at. Then they started fighting. Yep. That's where we at, right? All right.
So think about it real quick. That knot in Megan's head is on the left side of her forehead, so it would make sense that when she No. You would have to go back. That was Megan in the hospital, because Kelsey was the one. Because remember, they didn't book Meg. They was just asking her questions. So the person who legs, you see, like if you guys can look at the TMZ video, you can see the shoes that Kelsey had on. She had like on some black flip flops. So you can see when they take the pictures of her legs, that's Kelsey. And then when you see the one that's in the medical bed at the videos, because he's gonna show more of the videos, she's in the hospital bed.
No, so I'm saying, but that don't look like Megan though. That's Megan. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's Megan. That's
right,
Megan.
That's Megan in the middle picture.
Good.
Yeah,
They look, but they look alike. Yeah,
they do.
Because Kelsey is the one that got arrested. Meg didn't get arrested, so he gonna show the video shortly, and you'll see it. But that, to me, that means Kelsey threw the first blow and punched that bitch in her forehead.
You probably did. When she found out she was fucking Tory behind her back. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
Funny thing is, I think Kelsey can't fight, but Megan can.
Yeah, but Megan was scratching the shit out of her fucking legs with them damn Wolverine claws.
She was scratching her. Yeah.
Anything and everything. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get some clarification. I was a little lost.
No. If you do that again, that's fine. Like, we can talk about it just like we just did. You good? Go ahead.
All right, now.
Yeah, I can see one feet coming out trying to kick her, and the other one's fighting, and then the passenger gets out.
So the girl who does the punching and the kicking is the girl that comes out of the back passenger?
Can we stop there? Because I don't want to. I want to I'll tell you, and then I want to get my son's on his own.
Yeah, I understand. And it's loud with the cars.
I don't really want to. So basically, the car stopped. The girl in the back got out, started screaming, shouting, ripped the door, pulled the door open.
So the girl in the back, to my understanding, is Kelsey. The girl in the front, Megan. He's claiming that someone got out. I guess the girl in the back. Let me rewind him a little bit.
Screaming, shouting, ripped the door, pulled the door open, but pulled it so sort of viciously. That's why I presume the driver got out. She starts screaming. She starts hitting the girl. The girl knows how to sight her feet come out. She starts to kick the girl away. One passenger. They get out. They start fighting here. They start fighting. The driver comes around and tries to sort of break it up. It's a bit more violent. And between them, the girl then climbs back into the front row of the passenger seat.
Where's the shorter black guy?
He's in the back.
He's in the back of the car?
Okay, so they're claiming that Megan and Kelsey allegedly got out of the car, got into a whole ass fight. Kelsey jumps out the back seat, starts trying to wail on Megan, right? Jars the door open. Jaquan allegedly jumps out and tries to break it up. He claims that Tory is in the back seat still, but no gun.
Then the gun, and the girl shoots it. So the driver's door's open.
You're seeing the girl shoot?
Can I help you?
Before we go deeper into the interview, got Hurricane up in the building, man. He got a new phone. His shit is clear, and he comes through fine. Go on, tell him what it is, Hurricane.
What's good? It's the best Hurricane JW2 on YouTube, Revolutionary Music and Content, home of the Fuck the Government podcast. Shouts out to everybody on the panel and chat. And Megan is a liar. Let's go.
All right, now we got him up in here. Let's get it going, y'all. I'm sorry, I just want to pause real quick. Like,
is it this house?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So you see the girl doing the shooting?
I see what appears to be the girl standing here and drop shooting into the car. That's what it looks like.
Into the car?
But it was dark, and I'm above. So, but then the guy gets out again from the back.
So how could Kelsey have possibly shot into the car?
what do you mean?
How could that have possibly happened?
Okay.
He's claiming he saw a whole ass brawl and Kelsey fires into the car.
That makes no fucking sense.
That sounds weird.
Everybody
Hold on, pause real quick.
Get into the
Cause you see, Hurricane, you call that. You what it was, he was trying to get back and hurry up and get back into the house with his son. And clearly, when he first played the first part of the audio, he said the girl was doing the shooting, right? So now the dude, to me, it just sounds like he misspoke because he said shooting into. He didn't mean to say that because he already said the girl was already shooting outside of the car. So when he said shoot in the car, he didn't mean to say it like that. And this is the point of the video. This is my point of contention. Suckers like this, my son, Tamika Mallory, these motherfuckers want to overlook evidence because the dude was saying, hey, this bitch was shooting. She was the shooter. That's what he said in the first place. So he's trying to help him get back into the house. And if you understand, because what they messed up is on this website, I ain't gonna lie, they did kind of not show the full testimony because you want to find out did she get shot and crawl over to the neighbor's driveway, or did she jump in the car? Did they make sure like no y'all chill out, calm her down, get her back in the car? They don't play that part. That's where they fuck up at. But when you listen to the beginning of the testimony of the eyewitness, he was saying Kelsey did the shooting, but this simp is trying to make it seem like, oh no, you can't believe him. But when he went into the courtroom and said the little short guy was shooting too, he switched it and was like, oh no, he went and grabbed the gun and started shooting too. That's why they was like, no, Rock Nation got something to do with this, because his original testimony was just the girl shooting and Tory tried to stop her. Now when they get into the courtroom, he grabbed the gun and started shooting too. how does that corroborate what Meg and Kelsey first lied about and saying Tory shot, period, but Kelsey didn't shoot? This shit's wild.
I think Kamala Harris got something to do with this. It's like, bitch, I need you to dance on stage and brainwash these black people. I'll get you out.
All right, let's keep going.
Sworn eyewitness testimony. Okay. Because why ain't the car shot up if she's shooting into the car? Okay, I can't read these.
That bitch think he made a point.
I'm not finna zoom my page in for this shit. So key witnesses corroborate Sean Kelly's story. Together, the statements of Smith, James, and Kelly paint a consistent picture. 2 women were fighting. A woman fired the gun. Tory tried to de-escalate the situation. Okay. They have an affidavit from Jaquan Smith, Tory's guard. You have an affidavit from Brady James, Kelsey's trial bodyguard. Bradley James, excuse me. Was Bradley present? I don't recall Bradley being at the scene. So let me see if I could get closer in on this shit. I really don't feel like it, but let me see. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to zoom in on the left. On the right, I can kind of see what they're saying. Miss Kelsey Harris hired elite security to accompany her to court the 2 days she was testifying. This is the only time she has been a client. I've not worked for Daystar Peterson nor Megan Pete. So this is the bodyguard that accompanied her to court, who claims he overheard, Kelsey saying on the phone that she fired the gun. Okay, that's his hearsay story that's coming out. They just got this statement from him a couple weeks ago out of nowhere. Okay, now to the left here, this is Jaquan Smith, but unfortunately for whatever reason his affidavit is hardly legible. Okay, so that's strange. You have EJ's testimony suggesting a gun in the girl's bag. EJ King, Megan's former stylist, said an object in her purse looked like a handgun. EJ said he may have seen things that looked like a gun in the bag or purse, but never asked questions or confirmed what they were. This adds to the reasonable doubt. If Kelsey had the gun, there is great possibility Tory cannot be the shooter. Okay, so 12 here says you can't tell us it's for sure a handgun, but you've seen something like a handgun. Is that fair to say? Says, yes, sir. When you were upstairs just a few minutes ago, do you recall stating that you have seen things that look like a handgun? Yeah. Says, oh yeah, it looks like, but like I said, if I picked it up, no, but something like it, yes. Well, let me ask you this. You may have not picked that up and you're telling us you don't know if it's an actual working firearm, correct? Right. Have you seen anything in any of the bags or any time you've been out without security? Have you seen anything that resembles something that looked like a weapon, firearm? He says possibly yes. So this is a indefinite answer. This is a could be answer. What do you mean possibly? Is that a yes, sir? Says yes, possibly. I don't go through them to check for a firearm, but I may have seen stuff in bags that I packed. But like I said, I haven't. You never asked questions. You never asked what this is. Is it a firearm? No. Not sure how you're supposed to use that. Harris testimony, inconsistent and unreliable. They say Kelsey Harris initially. Hold
on, Jay. Hold on. Pause that. Dog, yeah, see what I'm saying?
Pause.
See what I'm saying? Dog, so you gonna tell me how you supposed to use that testimony from a dude that was close to her for like 5-6 years, but we're supposed to just take into account of Megan switching in line, Kelsey switching in line, her people, like, you know what I'm saying, covering up evidence. We're supposed to be like, oh no, you can't take that evidence. You can't take what Sean Kelly said the first time it happened, like that initial night, but we're supposed to take on the stand when he said he grabbed the weapon from Kelsey and started blaming. This is what I'm saying about steps like this. You know, and then Kelsey said on the stand, where the fuck did that come from?
Right there, bitch.
But then he gonna try to put that in there as well. Like y'all see what I'm saying? This is where we have the issue at.
It was a movie. It was a movie in that bit. Like, hey, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you like to hit people with garbage cans. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? And this is what I'm saying. Motherfuckers like this want to go over the evidence and act like it don't mean nothing. I'm just saying. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yup. Shit. I would ask. Alexis, you got any thoughts before we keep going?
Yeah, it's a lot of like me. Listen, I haven't listened to this guy. I've watched other people like NTR and different small creators going through it, but he's on some other shit. Like what? I don't understand why everybody, and this is my main reason why coming up here too, is because he gets exonerated. I'm a blast a lot of females in the space that were like, oh, he's a demon and da-da-da-da-da. And I think so many other females wanted to take up for her because they had past trauma and they were taking their past trauma and mixing it in with what happened with her. And I'm over here, what about my trauma? I'm a person that was actually shot. And y'all trying to put somebody that didn't do what, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, the website, is he on that, the website that we're talking about?
Yeah, he on the website.
Yeah, like, and I don't even know how he looking at that and don't understand like the whole breakdown and still trying to simp for her. But yeah.
It seemed like it's that point you made in the very beginning, that's another reason why I was adamant about covering it. I just don't like this dude, so I'm just gonna put that out there for y'all right now.
Hey man, don't do that. Don't do that, man. I don't know him in real life. I just know he's phony. But I'm saying real quick, I want you to finish, Jay. But real quick to your point, Max. What bothers me and the reason why I suggested this video is because this is the problem that we're having, especially in our community. I'm not saying don't protect black women, but I'm saying don't protect bitches and hoes and heifers who are lying motherfuckers that just happen to be black. Don't put them in the same category as a Megan Thee Stallion or Kelsey. These are lying ass hoes. I grew up my whole life seeing lying ass heifers like this. So we're gonna sit here and say the same thing, but we have proof and evidence that's been hidden. But the proof that came out, and real quick, because I think he gonna say this later, or somebody gonna say in his comment section. If you have all this damning evidence against Kelsey, Rock Nation, Megan, Tory don't have to get on the stand. Tory was trying to be like, listen, I'm cool with y'all trying to stay out of prison, but that don't make me the fall guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to get on the stand and say nothing because they just show proof I didn't do anything. Y'all got ballistics, y'all got forensics. I didn't do nothing. I'm not trying to put these black women in jail, even though these hoes deserve to go to jail and Rock Nation, all that. Matter of fact, Jay, if we got good time, because I know you like to make sure everything chopped, and I respect that.
We ain't.
We ain't gonna have time?
We might not. We'll see. We'll see.
We might. If we do, we have, because after this video, we should have done an hour left. If we do, I'm gonna fish and send it to you. But what's crazy is all this evidence is coming out, and people like him, whether it's a male or female, like you said, they got trauma and try to put it on Tory. Is how do you see the evidence and you say you for black people, but then when it comes to black men versus black women, now it's a separation. That's all I'm saying.
And I have one more. I learned this in high school. Never jump in a motherfucking cat fight. I watched niggas turn black and blue try to jump into break up this shit. Do not do it. It's not good.
Well, look, that's a universal rule. I tell chicks and I tell dudes all the time, man, two dudes fighting, if you a girl, man, you better stay your ass up out of that, man, because you're going to escalate it. Just happen if you get hit and your homeboy, like your nigga, whoever you with, he fighting, and he just fighting to fight this motherfucker. But then he see this motherfucker hit you too, he going to turn up and take it somewhere completely different. You don't want that situation to happen. And if two women fighting, dudes, don't be trying to break that shit the fuck up. Let them fight unless you try to pull your girl away. But the sad part, you pull them away, you don't leave them open to get hit in the face a couple more times. But y'all get into that shit for real. You know it's another dude that's gonna come in there and now it's just gonna be a big ass fucking brawl. We know how it goes. It's a trickle down effect. But to Alexis' point, I'm glad we're covering this shit just because the exact same point you said. You got a lot of people that done sat out here and defended this shit. It's the same thing like with a lot of different issues where his word versus their word. There was a lot of people on the internet when it came to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. A lot of them Amber Heard defenders, they've been quiet for a long time, or they just keep on trying to change the subject to something else. I'm like, look, these motherfuckers need to hear it. Like, bro, y'all put an innocent man in jail and y'all don't give a fuck. That's a problem, man. That's a problem, and we got to call that shit out. A lot of people walking around here got a little hate in their heart. They got a little hate in their heart. And they want to see other
a demon. They calling him a demon. He didn't shoot you and he a demon. Your friend, no, you a demon because you went behind your friend back and you effed the dude that she was with. You a demon. Like
it's the same old, like if people start paying attention, they'll see it, man. The people that do this shit are the ones projecting that shit out. They'll say this person did this to me. No, that's actually what you do.
Yeah.
You know the people out there, oh, you want to play victim. Go ahead.
What makes me mad is it's like the word demon. They keep on saying short black guy. I'm like, why keep on saying short black guy? That's some bullshit.
And think about it. How you gonna sit there and say somebody's a demon for trying to fight for their innocence to get out of prison? He got hit up 14 times, and then they tried to say, "Oh, it was fake." But TMZ released the fucking video. That was not fake.
For real.
You see when he finally got away from the dude, he leaking. That dude tried to offer him. He breathing again. How he breathing after get hit? Like, that's God, bro. Like, you're not gonna tell me after you watch that video you would still say that it was fake. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, this man is fighting for his freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my bad, Jay. Go ahead so we can let the video go.
No, you good. I was just over here, breathing hard. Either way, though.
But later recanted on the stand, admitting she lied under pressure. Her Fifth Amendment plea and contradictions compelled the prosecution to introduce her prior statements in full, highlighting their unreliability. Her credibility was compromised, creating reasonable doubt. So now they're saying that her story is not lining up. So Exhibit 14 here says, I can't tell you the time, but yes, July 12, 2020. And you saw what happened during that shooting, didn't you? She says, again, no. The way I was positioned, honestly, no. Exhibit 15. Okay, in September, when you interviewed with us, it was not a blur, correct? She said, again, I said things to protect myself that night. Okay, well, you said that day. You said it's a blur. You're trying to protect yourself, but you're telling us you didn't see anything or you didn't hear anything. It's a blur. Is that right? She says, I didn't see anything. So, okay. So here they're questioning why her story seems to be changing. Passenger area, she says, again, when I spoke with you, I said a few different things. They said, did you shoot Tory? Or did you shoot Megan? She says, no. Who shot Megan? Again, when I was getting out of the car, all I heard was shots. I didn't actually see. So she claims she didn't see the shooting. Okay. 17. Did you tell us that when you looked at maybe the second or third gunshot, that's when you see Tory and he's in the front seat and he must have jumped over into the front seat. Okay. So all of these stories are sounding pretty strange. If you go back to Sean Kelly, Megan's in the front seat. They get into a fight, but then he says he sees the lady shoot into the car. Now, Kelsey saying she ain't see shit, but initially she saw that, I guess Megan was out of the car. Tory has now jumped into the front seat and leaning over the door out the window. They say, do you remember telling us that? She says, again, our interview was not 100% truthful. Okay. So she's recanting the story that she witnessed Tory get into the front seat and shoot out the car. Okay. But the location lines up. If Megan gets out the car, out of the front seat. Tory hops into the front, shoots out the window. That sounds a lot more likely than Kelsey jumping on Megan in the front seat and shooting into the car. Because please tell me why nobody has ran any tests on that car for shots fired into the car.
Hold on real quick.
Kelsey confirms she was.
Oh man,
Don't beat him up on him repeating it. Don't beat him up for him keep saying that shit. Let him get past that shit. Cause I know it too. I want to say something too.
Jay. We got to, because he said, "Oh, there's trust." My bad. Real quick, they gonna sit up there and say, "Oh, they should have tried for bullet prints. I'm bullet shot up in the car." Nigga, really? I'm just saying, real quick. Why? This is what I'm saying when suckers like him. Dog, how you gonna sit up there and say the dude, you know what he said. Everything he was saying corroborates with what happened. But he keeps saying, "Oh, they should have checked for bullets in the car. If they ain't find no bullets, then that ain't happened." He keeps trying to make it that Tory did the popping. They're like, no, he didn't, dog. He didn't, because when the video first played that he played, that's not what Sean Kelly said. Sean Kelly said she was the one doing the shooting. Tory Kane tried to break it up, and then 2 more shots happened, but his fingerprints is not on the weapon or the clip, and then next thing you know, the fragments is gone. I'm just saying, this is why I was saying we should do this, is because he's the reason why they're able to get away with stuff like this in a court of opinion. I'm sorry, I had to say that. I had to, because he capping. I had to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Which makes me think Kamala Harris still might have something to do with it, because she
was
not in there.
Hurricane, damn.
Oh, that bitch head.
I ain't gonna lie. Hurricane ain't that wrong. That sounds like some shit, some 90-day shit that they get rid of, because you notice they convicted in 90 days.
Hey, look, I ain't finna get into that conspiracy theory, but I will say this. Look, we always gonna have people like this, man. People gonna be in opposition to. Look, people don't like the truth. People don't like the truth, and they damn sure don't want to be proven wrong. And he still look. I can tell how he talking, but look, I'm gonna let him keep going, man, because trying to get you some time.
It's not bribed. Who's gonna admit to that? Kelsey Harris testified under oath that no bribery occurred. No financial records or corroborating evidence support the bribery claim. There's also been a lot of talk about bribery, and I want to, before I go into the facts, I want to talk about that. Has my client paid you anything? She says no. I'm guessing client would be, this is Tory's defense. No. There's talk about hush money that Megan's people have put out there. Has my client put any money to you, ma'am? Has paid any money to you? Okay, so they talk about hush money that Megan people have put out. My bad. Has my client paid anything to you? She says no. And I would actually like to make that very clear, because I've seen some things earlier from her attorney and I'm tired of that lie, so no. Okay, she denies any money. Miss Harris, I never asked them to. District attorney says, got it. Miss Harris, give me a spot. They did this voluntarily and for a year, which was not normal. Okay, so someone allegedly gave her a spot for a year. After the incident, Kelsey received rent for an entire year after not speaking with Megan since incident covered by Megan's team. The term they has been used repeatedly. Why? We don't know who they is. Anyway, in her own words, he is standing up over the window shooting, but he never touched the gun, they claim. So how was he in the front seat with the gun if he never touched it when the police came? DNA proves Tory Lanez innocence. A forensic expert testified that 90% of the DNA on the weapon belonged to an unknown male. So are we supposed to convict Tory Lanez or your security? Are you protecting your alleged security? What motive do they have to shoot Megan? Please let us know if 90% of the DNA on the weapon belonged to a male. Are we trying to identify, are we misgendering Kelsey all of a sudden? Come on now. His DNA was not found on the magazine.
So look, he said that dumb shit, and then the first thing he read disproved exactly what the fuck he just said. There's never been a time where they said there was 90% of the DNA on the fucking gun was a man's. Nowhere in any report ever. I've not seen that shit. And then the first thing he reads is saying that the motherfucker ain't got Tory DNA. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Did you not know you was about to read some evidence? Like, hold on, I just want to play that sequence one more time because that was kind of funny, man. I was like, he about to read that part, right? Obviously, he didn't. But either way, though, one more time.
Talk about that. Has my client paid you anything? She says no. I'm guessing client would be, this is Tory's.
Let me skip ahead. I went back too far.
Kelsey received rent for an entire year after not speaking with Megan since incident covered by Megan's team. The term they has been used repeatedly. Why? We don't know who they is.
Illuminati.
Anyway, in her own words, he is standing up over the window shooting, but he never touched the gun, they claim. So how was he in the front seat with the gun if he never touched it when the police came? DNA proves Tory Lanez innocence. A forensic expert testified that 90% of the DNA on the weapon belonged to an unknown male. So are we supposed to convict Tory Lanez or your security? Are you protecting
he's reading
your
the thing.
security? What motive do they have to shoot Megan? Please let us know if 90% of the DNA on the weapon belonged to a male. Are we trying to identify, are we misgendering Kelsey all of a sudden? Come on now. His DNA was not found on the magazine. Software used for analysis had documented instability and potential for false matches. An expert testified that if Tory had fired the gun 5 times, his DNA would be expected on the weapon, but it wasn't found. Female DNA was found on the gun. They say Kelsey tested positive for GSR, but her DNA was never tested against the gun. So they're saying that there was some sort of residue on Kelsey. Tory Lanez DNA, they say, was not on the magazine and only 0.01% on the firearm. This amount is incredibly small, equivalent to picking a blade of grass from a football field, they say. Okay. So they say, I can read some of this. The mixture of donors in the sample 5111 of the gun was estimated by the STR mix software as 90%, 5%, 3%, and 2% donors. The major donor, 90% of DNA, could reliably be deduced from the mixture of DNA, and it did not match the defendant. From the donors of 5%, 3%, and 2% of DNA in the mixture, no DNA profile could be deduced. The latter indicates that the data of these donors is not reliable for comparison with possible donors. Now, let's go back to the same thing with the magazine. You
so
talked
4
about
people.
The handgun. Can you tell us explain what the LAPD concluded after testing of the swab as to magazine from this case? Yes, when they tested the magazine, they said they saw that they had again at least 4 people, and so coincidence, maybe not. They aren't together, the magazine and the gun. There may be some similarities there. In looking at that, they absolutely excluded Peterson. He is not one of those 4 people. He's not on the magazine, and so when they take a look at that, that's a clear exclusion. Can't be there, they say. Sir, counsel keeps saying about the gun, touching the gun. You can't exclude Mr. Peterson. Sir, is there any evidence as you sit here that people can say that Mr. Peterson touched that gun? Yes or no? He says no. And is that the same opinion that the LAPD criminalist has? Says that's correct. Sir, again, I'm going to ask you this hypothetical, and I'm going to leave out the fact that it's my gun. If I pick up a gun from inside of a vehicle, I take that gun, I get out of the car, I shoot 5 times, I put that gun back in the car. Would you expect my DNA to be on that gun, sir? I would, yes, they say. Is my client's, Mr. Peterson's DNA on the gun, sir? They say, not that we can tell, no. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, there's a towel.
And that should have been the end of the trial.
Exactly.
That should have been the end of the trial right there. But they did. We already know this from Kangaroo. Well, first off, black men in the justice system. Gonna get his ass. Then it's a black man versus a woman. Gonna get him.
Yeah.
They would love if it was a white woman. That would have been a slam dunk case. But it turned out to be a black woman. She happened to be famous. So that helped out a little bit too. But they was like, dude, they wanted to lock his ass up regardless.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, I heard this on the jury. The forensic analysis that goddamn test these guns said his DNA is not on this gun, but it's some other people shit on this gun. We ain't text some other people. I'm like, man, look, he the one y'all saying did it. His handprints ain't on there, but it's some other people. Dude, let this dude go, man. What we doing? What are we doing right now? And that lets you know there's some evil shit going on, man. A lot of people got some hate in their heart. They got some hate in their heart. Matter of fact, I'll tell them right.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Hey, motherfucker need to let that shit out. Look, they need to let that shit out into a pillow or something, because otherwise you bottle this shit up, man. And this is the way it come out. You put an innocent man in jail, and I just watched that. I watched the stabbing video, bro. That dude tried to take his life for real.
For real.
That dude tried to take him. I ain't watched that shit. I'm like, nah, this some cold-blooded shit. And I see why people look, that's sparking emotion inside of me. I see why people are pushing now real hard. Like, bro, get that dude up out of there, man. Like, I think a lot of people would have been okay with it if you never heard nothing about the Tory Lanez shit, like nothing afterwards. Him going into prison. If you just would have been quiet, I think a lot of people would have let off of it. Me and Op still been talking about it, but I know a lot of people would have let up off of it. But after that video came out, oh, hell nah, bro. It's like, dude. And that's what they said. Ain't that what they said? Kelsey's bodyguard. That's the reason he came up and spoke, because he saw that.
No. Actually, what happened was a few days before that happened, he already had spoke on it. Yeah, he said something.
He said he was weighing on his conscience, and he couldn't see a man just sit behind bars and knowing that the information that she said.
Hey, look, think about this. That might be God working in mysterious ways. Only if they could have, he got that testimony to somebody that could have got him out of jail before Tory got stabbed. So and
that's the crazy, bro. Then that's the crazy thing, because guess what? Before that happened, before he poked Tory up, they had for everybody who knows how the court cases work, you have to go ahead, your legal team has to report to the other legal team, right? So what happened was, soon as they reported it to Meg's legal team, a couple of days later, he got poked up. You can't tell me that's a coincidence.
I'm saying, what do you mean by report?
Because
you mean?
So say me and you got a case or whatever against each other. We have to let each other know ahead of time before we go back into court what we found evidence on. So you
talking about discovery and shit. Yeah, I got you. I ain't know
right.
About
so that means I have to report to your people so y'all can go ahead and test what I'm saying, so y'all can get y'all discovery ready. You know what I'm saying? You can get ready for the case or whatever. So before that happened, after they found out, they had to report to Meg's team. Next thing you know, guess what? Tory got hit up like Tupac, hit Biggie up.
Okay. All right, let's keep going, man. He still got some time on this bitch. Ugh.
In the backseat, covered in blood. Who's to say that towel didn't wipe the gun down? Anyway, so we know one male DNA was found on the handgun. At least one. Do we know if there's the possibility?
Think about his dumb ass. Wait, I'm sorry, man. If he wiped the gun down, wouldn't nobody DNA be on the bitch?
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just saying, because I'm like, if he wiped it down, there would nobody shit be on there. Not you thinking that he wiped it down, it only took off his DNA.
You know what kind of master criminal you're trying to say Tory is? Remember I told you earlier when I sent you that I made the first comment I made was because of that. I said, dog, I'm glad you said that. If you go to the comment section, you go see Big Op in there. I said, dog, so that would mean nobody's fingerprints would be on there. How would you say Tory's fingerprints is not on there or barely on there, but some other males is on there at a 90% finding?
Look,
nigga,
Tory,
what?
Tory knew exactly where he touched the gun, so he knew exactly how to hold the gun to wipe off his specific spots after he just fired 5 shots in the police car.
And he's drunk.
And he fucked up. So yeah, he knew exactly where to wipe it. That's what.
Right.
The dude. Yeah. Here, I'll just keep playing. I'm sorry, I had to stop right there. That's just crazy.
But real quick, you see why you said don't do it, but you can see why I said what I said.
Yeah, you just coming out hot. Let them get there, and then we can find out why you don't like this nigga. We find it out now, but in the beginning, it's like, where that shit come from? Either way, though, I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
Possibility of female DNA being on that gun, they say yes. We also see an indication that there is DNA from a female there based on the balance of the X and Y chromosomes that are present. So 90% male and some other percentage of female, but dominantly male DNA. So it would have to either be Tory or his driver. Why would anybody protect the driver? They say in her own words, why would I lie? Why alter the text? So here they try to say that text messages have been altered. Text message evidence appears edited. Text messages used in court differed from versions shared publicly by Megan's team. Okay. So this here says Alex with private gym, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. LOL shit, security 101. Going with Ferris to pick up another car. We'll be right back. Help, Tory shot Meg, 911. Okay, so this is a message from Kelsey saying Tory shot Meg.
That's bullshit.
There's another one here. It says, help, Tory shot Meg and handled me, 911. They claim that this was altered by Megan's team, but both still say Tory shot Meg nonetheless. They say missing phrases raise questions about whether evidence presented to the jury and now to the public was selectively edited or incomplete. They say audio undermines the dance bitch claim. The now public ring camera audio confirms 5 gunshots but does not capture Tory Lanez saying dance bitch. What is this? Definitely heard something in that middle there. I don't know what y'all didn't hear. It's definitely something, bitch. Okay, so what's this here? You could hear the
conversation. Got super ears.
Yeah, quite clearly. Excuse me, quite clearly. But at any point, did you hear anybody say dance bitch? No. When you got out of the car, did anybody say dance bitch? Did you hear a word? Did anybody saying dance bitch? Says no. I don't know where that came from. No, that's Sean Kelly and Kelsey saying they don't hear the dance bitch. I don't know if it says dance bitch, but I know it says something bitch. The bitch was very clear. Clear as an NWA record. Here she says in her own words, I thought the doctors were the police. They say, which doctor, Megan? Medical facts don't match the narrative. So here they claim that there are conflicting reports from the doctors at the hospital. They say none of these doctors were called to testify in court. Okay. So in Exhibit 24, they claim that Dr. Anthony Lafredo described injury as laceration from broken glass. There is no mention of gunshot wounds, fragments, or ballistic trauma. He also described Megan as pleasant and no acute distress. 25, Dr. Milton Little, orthopedic. So you got the ER person saying laceration from broken glass. You got the person from orthopedic saying diagnosed bilateral gunshot wounds based on imaging. He removed 3 small fragments under general anesthesia and called wounds superficial, yet performed surgery. Claimed fragments were bagged and given to police. We've got another doctor here from the plastic surgery area describing wounds as superficial and cleanly closed. X-rays showed no fractures, minimal residual shrapnel. What you mean minimal residual shrapnel? Dr. Howell treated for cellulitis infection, discharged without mention of ballistic trauma. Okay, so this person removed the bullets. This person treated the superficial area after the wounds were closed. Okay, she treated infection. but we hear gunshots. So how are y'all saying she wasn't shot? Anyway, they say forensic red flags and medical doubt. Key medical findings: radiology report, no radio pack, foreign bodies, no bullet fragments clearly visible on x-ray. Did y'all present the x-ray? Estimated blood loss, only 5 milliliters, far too low for gunshot wounds to both feet. Wound closure, wounds were closed immediately, uncommon for gunshot injuries due to infection risk. They say here, no bone or joint damage, rare for true gunfire related foot injuries. Bullet fragments removed by Dr. Little but never preserved. Detectives admitted in court that fragments were lost, they say. Conflicting diagnosis: 29, broken glass, ER, gunshot wound, ortho, cellulitis infection, plastic surgery. Excuse me. They say much of this evidence was never presented at trial. Tory Lanez's original trial counsel, joined the case late, limiting the defense's ability to investigate these medical inconsistencies. They say the fragments went missing. At preliminary hearings, detectives stated bullet fragments were missing. Prosecutors later claimed LAPD had them, an inconsistency suggesting evidence mismanagement or miscommunication. Prosecutors claimed LAPD still has the bullet fragments allegedly removed from Megan's foot, yet during a preliminary hearing, Detective Ryan Stogner stated the fragments were missing. If LAPD had the fragments, why did the lead investigator testify in this manner? The chain of custody comes to question with such a clear error. This casts doubt on the integrity and completeness of the evidence, they state. Here we have Exhibit 30. They say now the bullet fragments which were allegedly removed from Megan's ankles, they can't be located, correct? They say correct. And you indicated that you reviewed the medical reports from Cedars, or at least some of them. They say yes. Did you read the report that called the findings superficial injuries? They say yes. Miss Holly, nothing further. They here say Megan's faulty claims in med records. They say on August 17th, she went to the club with an ace bandage on her left foot, despite claiming to have been shot in both feet. Okay. They say, was there a lot of pain afterwards? She says, yes, I couldn't walk for a while, and I couldn't feel the side of my left foot. Okay. On August, that would be, what, nearly 2 months after?
I'm trying to tell you, look, I done played sports.
Fuck nigga, I'm sorry, Jago.
I done played sports, y'all. I done twisted my ankle bad, and I couldn't goddamn walk right or go out and play and do crazy shit for like 2 months. You're not gonna tell me you got shot in both feet and you at the club in 2 months. That's literally a foreign object going through your body. It's ripping through tissue. It might hit veins. All this shit. Them holes got to seal up. They not sealing up completely in no 2 months. Like I'm sorry for somebody that's been shot. Like Alexis, you can speak on it. Them wounds don't heal fast like that.
No, right. I'm definitely. I got hit in my calf. So I mean, it ain't but too much room between the calf and the foot. And so I was, I qualified to be a part of the Team Delaware, Miss Team Delaware. They straight turned me away and told me I couldn't be a part of it. Ain't no damn way you was dancing for, nah.
That shit not gonna heal. Like, it's not gonna be healed by that time. And if you try to even, because like the mind is strong. I will say this: the mind is strong. You can do whatever fuck you want to do. You can push through pain. We all have a pain level, but we can go beyond that shit. You not finna fucking get out there and be dancing and moving around on that shit and re-rupture that shit. Like, bro, the pain that you'll be in is man, shit.
Yeah. Right. And then the way that she was dancing and working, and the weight that she had to put on her legs,
hands on your knees.
Like, no way.
Yeah, she ain't no small girl.
When I was 23, I hurt my sciatic nerve. Still to this day, I deal with my sciatic nerve damage. I could be, if I wear the wrong shoe, the sciatic nerve is going to act up from my Achilles heel to the middle of my back. And I have to lay up and make sure my foot is elevated and all that shit at 41. From 23 to 41. But this bitch can throw that ass in a circle. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here, man.
For real, man.
We don't let it keep going, but nah, that just didn't make no sense, man. That for people, we all got people on here that done been through shit similar, close to it. That like Megan ain't no super nigga. I'm just gonna throw that out there for everybody. She ain't no super nigga.
This left foot right, T. Ferris says, yes, I couldn't walk for a while and I couldn't feel side of my left foot. Did you have nerve damage? She says, yes, I still have nerve damage. And what do you mean by that? She says, I can't really feel the left side of my foot. They're saying, based on your experience, is that did you see anything that there was any nerve damage or any of those fragments penetrate and touch the nerve or any of that? Did you see anything like that? She says, we did not identify, I don't know who this is. We did not identify any nerve involvement on the left side. They say no further questions. Okay. Here they get into what they call moments that show Tory cared. Now this here is beyond me. Contrary to popular belief, Tory showed care and concern for Megan. So this is body cam footage after the arrest of Tory.
Address that the incident occurred, the shooting happened?
Nah, I don't know the address, bro. I was just trying to help my girlfriend. 1 second, bro.
Stay right here for me, bro. Hey, we got an ambulance coming for her, okay? Hey, bro, step up right here. We got an ambulance coming for her. All right?
Just a quick question.
It's gonna be good.
Have any injuries on you? No, I don't.
You need an RN?
I'll come for your friend now, okay?
It's gonna be okay. That's the concern. That nigga put on a motherfucking act, man. Come on, dog. Whatever. Body cam footage, police station.
Do you want to talk about what happened tonight? Your girl to safety?
Come on, man. Y'all stupid as fuck for putting this in there. Come on, dog.
Hey, you know, the funny thing is, he don't think he's stupid for believing that Megan got shot by Tory when all the evidence that he done read so far points the opposite way.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know what you getting at, bro. Like the dude said, Mego, like when the motherfucker talk to you that type of way, motherfucker, they sound like they're concerned about you. He don't hear it, he don't see it. Okay, I guess you don't want to hear or see it, but all the evidence so far is pointing in one direction, not the way you. I guess the way he wanted to be, but fuck it, I'm sorry.
That depicts nothing. Anyway, misinterpreted
It's a
apology. What Tory really meant. Many have pointed to Tory Lanez jail call as an admission of guilt in the shooting, but this is a misrepresentation. Tory has publicly clarified that his apology was never about a shooting, but about the drama caused by sleeping with two close friends and getting caught. He acknowledged that his actions created a volatile situation, but firmly stated, I would never do anything like this. Right, as in, I would never do anything like this under normal circumstances. But tonight I fucked up because he's apologizing.
You adding in shit. See, look, that be the problem right there. You heard what the motherfucker said, now you want to try to break it down. I'm like, he didn't say anything that was like cryptic. He didn't say anything cryptic. It was pretty plain and simple. You try to read into it even more.
On the audio call, real quick before you start the video back. On the audio call,
prosecutors intended to use Tory Lanez rap lyrics, tattoos, and uncharged to prejudice the jury. Mentioning Tory Lanez right to not testify.
I'll tell y'all why. He go, I got this. I got to get it off. I understand why this nigga is still 100% confident in Tory did it. Because remember, he said that Tory just could have wiped the gun off. So he just threw that out like Tory could magically just take his DNA off. So I see why he's still, if you think that he can do that, I can see why you would still like have some hope that nigga did this shit. But I'm like, dude, that erased your entire fucking argument. Even after the DNA people came in and said that his DNA wasn't on it. So I'm like, I see why he's still here. He need Jesus, or he need
potentially violated his constitution.
Record, Jay.
Tory Lanez's choice to testify or not is a protected constitutional right. Absolutely, you have the right to remain silent.
Jay, real quick.
However, that also absolves you of defending yourself if further evidence is found. You chose the code of silence rather than to advocate for yourself.
Jay, can you hear?
So yeah, that is your right. The fact that a defendant does not testify on his own behalf should not be fodder for the courts, nor an interpretation of guilt.
We're gonna have to come back in.
They say justice requires clarity, fairness, and facts, not assumptions. So please tell us, was she shot or did she step on glass? Which story is it that y'all are trying to proceed with? Because it seems like y'all are using both.
The fuck is he talking about?
Which doesn't make much sense to me. So last night, one of Megan's attorneys, Alex Spiro, he made an appearance on News Nation on the Cuomo show. I'm not sure why this interview is not widely spread, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to obtain 3 minutes of the conversation they had. I would assume that they talked.
What you got?
All right, so apparently you couldn't hear me before. So, real quick, I wanted to state the bullshit and what he's saying and acting like you just said. He's not pointing out the evidence when it comes to Tory being innocent. He's only trying to stay where it's like, oh, well, no, this, that, and no, hold on, bro. You on some bullshit. Because how you gonna sit there and tell me everything that points to evidence that Tory didn't do nothing wrong? You're still trying to say, no, he did something wrong. Like I was saying before, like, dog, the evidence show he did nothing fucking wrong. And this dude is still trying to gloss over the evidence, like what you said about him with the towel and all that. Think about this. If the video that he showed earlier it shows that, you know, it had blood on it. Just keeping it real. It showed it had blood on it. So even if he wiped the gun, whoever blood that was on that towel would still be on the DNA of the gun. It will still be there. You can't use a towel to wipe off DNA. The towel, yeah, it was a towel in the back seat that it showed on the camera. If you want to go back, if we got enough time.
No, you good. You good.
So it shows a towel with blood on it. So how you gonna use a towel to wipe off fingerprints, but no DNA is on there for nobody else? So that's what shows you he's picking and choosing sides. And I gotta say this real quick. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody, but this goes to show you that no matter how much you try to protect these women, these females, it don't matter, because they're still saying that nobody protects black women. This is what May been saying, but she's still out there throwing her ass in a circle. Go ahead.
I say not all but most. Not all but most. Or a lot. I ain't gonna say, because we got Alexa, she ain't riding with it.
For longer than 3 minutes, but for whatever reason, Cuomo and them have not released the entirety of it. I'm still trying to see if there's going to be any remnants of the additional conversation, but here's the part that we do have.
Quick reminder about the Tory Lanez story, right? He and Megan Thee Stallion are at a party together. They get into an argument, reportedly, or not reportedly. Megan says Lanez got out and shot at her feet and hit her. Lanez was convicted, sentenced to 10 years in prison. Now, Tory's team says it didn't happen that way. It never happened that way. He was railroaded. Now, he did not testify in his own defense, but he does maintain his innocence. Now, the most interesting evidence is what has just come out, which was somebody saying, I witnessed it, and it was a female who fired the weapon. Listen to this.
You see the girl doing the shooting?
I see what appears to be the girl standing here and shooting into the car. That's what it looked like to me. But it was dark, and I'm above, so... But then the guy gets out again from the back.
Now, the guy testified, though, so why wasn't it enough for the jury? But it does corroborate what a bodyguard who did not, who wasn't part of the incident there, but was with Megan Thee Stallion's friend afterwards when she was going to court. And he says in an affidavit that he heard her say, I don't want to tell on myself, but that he believes he heard her say it was her. Now, it's not what Megan Thee Stallion said. It's not what that friend said at trial, and he was convicted. So what is the other side of the story? I want to bring in Megan Thee Stallion's lawyer, Alex Spiro. Alex, counsel, it's good to have you. Thank you for joining us. What do you make of this now very public campaign to say Tory Lanez was framed?
Yeah, Chris, I'm reluctant to give any attention or oxygen to this nonsense. It's gotten to the point where I felt I needed to clear this up. And given the history of domestic violence against women in this country and across the world, and given what's happening here, I think I have an obligation to Meg and others. The reality is he was convicted by a jury of his peers based on overwhelming evidence. The evidence in this case is basically as strong as it could possibly be. He was found at the scene with the firearm that shot her. The shell casings matched the gun. He confessed. She says he did it. The eyewitness says he did it. There was never any dispute or doubt in this case, which is why he was convicted so quickly. So the rest of this is nonsense, but I deal with it in turn.
That motherfucker told a whole bunch of lies, but either way though, that shit crazy. Why'd it stop?
And that's all the footage that's been released to the internet. And for whatever reason, it's not widespread out there. I had to literally get this from News Nation website. It's not on their YouTube. They had it on their Facebook. It's no longer available. And it sounds to me that there was going to be more to that conversation. As of yet, I have not seen anything else from this. Okay?
You know what the fucked up shit is? Because I know we at the end of his shit. He's saying that shit like it was going to be something good to prove his point. But Cuomo didn't invite him on there just to give him softball questions. He brought him on there because he was going to challenge what the hell he was saying. And they left up just that statement. That was actually in favor of the attorney that was on there, Megan's side. They just left it up right there. Because I'm pretty sure he challenged him throughout that conversation. So I don't know how he's mad about that. I don't know how he feels about that. But what y'all got? What y'all think?
I think Megan ain't shit.
Am I the only one that can't hear shit? I can't hear none of y'all.
Word.
Keep talking, Hurricane. I can't hear you though.
Mic check. Can you hear me now? Hello.
I can hear you.
All right, cool.
Okay, I guess couldn't hear Hurricane.
What?
I can't hear Hurricane.
The adjustment bill fucking with you.
Can you hear Hurricane?
I can't. He joking with you right now, but let him go ahead and go out. I'll let you know when he stops, because I'm going to go next.
I can't hear him though. But here, I'm going to go out and come back in.
Okay, go ahead, Hurricane.
Yeah, shit. Just like looking at the case and just seeing how crazy this shit is, like it almost made me look like everybody was out against that nigga that night. It was just like he was innocent or guilty, whatever. It was just like, man, this shit, it just seems like everybody piled up on him and just said fuck him. And I gotta throw the Kamala Harris conspiracy in this bitch because she was hiding evidence and shit. But I'm like, yo, I need that bitch on stage for my campaign. So fuck Tory Lanez. Okay, I can have it.
All right, dog. What's so crazy about the situation is, like JBJ said, her lawyer lied like a motherfucker. So let's go back. That's what I meant to bring up earlier. Let's go back to when everybody is being brainwashed to believe Tory admitted to guilt of popping Meg. If you listen to the interview, what people don't pay attention to, he said, I don't even remember what we argued about. So that would actually mean if you're going to say anything, he never said nothing about popping, slapping, punching, none of that. He said argued about, which would mean he's taking, accountability for the argument. And then when you look at the whole case, they never say nothing about what happened before they left Kylie Jenner's house. But we see the video. Ooh, and then not only that, Kelsey was drunk, passed out, sleep in the house. Only thing Meg ever said was she left something, they had to go back and get it. And then other people came out was like, nah, Kylie Jenner, like, bitch, y'all bitches gotta get the fuck out my house with this bullshit. So Meg was the one that came back with that bullshit, and that's what led up to the fight. Because when she was arguing with Tory, something tells me, this is my opinion, something tells me the bitch was like, how you gonna try my homegirl? And then that's when Tory exposed everything, like, bitch, your homegirl. Bitch, I fucked you while she was going with C-19. Look at Kelsey. Oh, Kelsey, you don't believe me? Then she fucked your other dude that she hooked you up with? That's where everything sprawled out of control. And then Kelsey punched motherfucking Meg in that forehead. That's where she got that knot from. Kelsey punched her in the shit. They started fighting and all that, and then that's where you fast forward into what Sean Kelly seen outside of his house. But if I was a private investigator, I would have went out there and be like, hold on, these $1 million houses. So you mean to tell me there ain't nobody got no ring cams on the back of their house or no front of their house was facing this situation? And then you go out there and you will see somebody got a ring cam. Dog, I done been to motherfucking projects in my community and they got ring cams. You're not gonna tell me houses worth $5 million plus ain't got a ring cam in the back of the house when the projects in my hood got fucking ring cams. Get the fuck out of here. We know it was some bullshit. And that's what we see. Like, you see the evidence, but you got that simp that we just played. Want to act like, nah, that don't make no sense. Come on now, how that happened? Dude told his story, but before the ending the part, I'm gonna let him and let somebody else go. The ending part of the first video, he said the girl was doing the popping. Forensic show, there's no way Tory touched the firearm. So how we still here? And then, matter of fact, I'm gonna let somebody else go, Jay. I'm gonna send you this last thing real quick, but y'all go ahead and go.
Hey, but you know what's another thing that we do have record of Meg? Her ex-boyfriend said it. Other artists who've been out partying with her, she was a alcoholic and a drunk. And when she gets full of that liquor, she gets a little, you know what I'm saying, like aggressive and all that type of stuff, to where it's like, come on now. She tried to say, it wasn't nothing I did, wasn't no yelling. That's not your character. People have already said that that's not your character. I saw a video of what's the girl? Not Chloe. She went to a party with Meg, where Meg was at, and Meg was trying to force her to drink, and she had to be like, "I said no." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm good.
Yeah, nah, she ain't Miss Sweet. Like you.
I done heard a whole lot of people talk about that when it comes to her, and I don't know why. Look, we all know what it was, man. We know what it was. This is just on a different level because there's more added to it. First off, they wanted to lock his black ass up anyways. We know that. The United States government loves to lock up black people. We know that. But outside of that, it had the man-woman dynamic. And we know what kind of, like, a lot of people act like we passed shit. We ain't passed a lot of shit. We got a lot of shit going on right now where it's man-woman shit. That shit is still going on right now. They wanted to. In LA, they wanted to have his ass him the fuck up. And they railroaded the case because the biggest reason why a lot of this shit didn't fucking... We're hearing about it now is because they suppressed this shit. They suppressed a lot of it. And then on top of that, the prosecuting side did not... When they're supposed to do a discovery exchange, you give me your information, I give you my information. They didn't hand this shit over. They didn't hand it over. They just kept that shit like, nope, it don't exist. And now the shit's coming the fuck out, and it's like, okay, it's coming out now. What y'all gonna say about this now, bitches?
In the words of Malcolm X, the chick is coming home to roost.
Yep, you goddamn right about that. You goddamn right.
Oh, Jay, I sent you some in your email. All right,
I got it. I'm about to go ahead and put it up here. I've got another video for y'all, so we got to do this quick, y'all. We gonna make it work.
I sent you some music too, Jay. I sent you some music.
I just checked my email. I saw it, so I got to get to work tomorrow. Because tomorrow, if I do a show, you're gonna see the intro. You'll like it. But let's go ahead and see what we got right here.
A South Florida woman is taking legal action after she says she spent nearly 2 weeks in mental health institutions for no legitimate reason.
She claims in a recently filed lawsuit that it was orchestrated by her own mother, and others who should have protected her failed her.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri has her story.
So legally, I can go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker acted.
Body camera video shows the moments Broward deputies encouraged Demore Hadley to get into this pickup truck with people she says she didn't know.
I can ride with you and you guys take me?
You're going to be in handcuffs? The dog's not going to be able to come?
No, I don't want to be handcuffed.
Okay.
Demore says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
A doctor she says she'd never met before. And according to Demore, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Demore falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Rock Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay-Z.
The complaint alleges a conspiracy, saying Perez used her money, power, and influence to tear apart Demore and her husband, Javon Hadley, and created an enterprise of individuals to effectuate her plot.
To essentially try to separate me from my husband and to falsely accuse him of domestic violence.
Perez has repeatedly denied these allegations in court filings. A month before Demore filed her complaint, we found her mother filed her own lawsuit against Demore's husband, Javon. Citing evidence, Perez says he has abused her daughter for years, something the couple has denied in court records. In that lawsuit, Desiree Perez says she moved to Baker Act her daughter, fearing she was at risk of suicide and abusing prescription drugs.
I haven't seen anything in my entire 20 years of practicing law that it is so clear that someone did something wrong.
Attorney Hilton Napoleon is representing Demore in the lawsuit, which claims Perez harassed the couple for years, including making unfounded claims to get Javon arrested on multiple occasions for battery and domestic violence, charges prosecutors did not pursue.
The state attorney's office wrote a 11-page scathing closeout memoranda, which basically said that her mother made false allegations to the police.
In this closeout memo, a prosecutor with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office cites Demore's lack of cooperation and raises concerns about some of the evidence and how it was obtained. The prosecutor also wrote Demore was wrongfully Baker acted last year, something her mother's attorney disputes in this letter challenging many of the memo's other conclusions.
I have 3 different collateral sources of information that say that she's been acting psychotic, that she threatened to overdose yesterday.
Demore's lawsuit alleges her mother conspired with prominent psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Bober, seen here in body camera video, and others to have Demore committed for a mental health evaluation. Bober cites supporting evidence from her family and diagnosed Demore with an unspecified psychosis. He ordered she be taken to Memorial Regional Hospital, where he is chief of psychiatry, and where results from drug tests taken upon admission were negative, according to records Demore shared with us.
They told me your tox screens came out negative, and I go, I know, I don't do drugs.
In a statement, Dr. Bober's attorney said Demore was placed under the Baker Act for 38 hours due to the potential risk of imminent harm she posed to herself, adding failing to take appropriate action would have been a breach of Dr. Bober's ethical and professional obligations. While Demore was at Memorial, her mother further petitioned to have her transported to a different facility under Florida's Marchman Act, claiming again in court records that Demore suffered from severe drug abuse. A judge granted that petition.
They ran the test. They knew that she had no drugs in her system and she was not abusing drugs. And the fact that you can't do anything about it is scary.
Demore was sent to this treatment center in Deerfield Beach, where Dr. Bober serves as medical director.
Where are the people that are supposed to protect me from this happening?
According to her lawsuit, Demore requested a hair follicle test at that facility called Life Skills, which detects drug use for at least the past 3 months, and which showed no drugs had been in Demore. Demore was held at Life Skills until April 8th. She shared discharge paperwork that lists a diagnosis of persistent depressive disorder, which she disputes. No medication was prescribed. Court records show Demore was able to leave that day after her mother voluntarily dismissed the case. But Demore says the damage has been done, and she feels a system designed to keep people safe failed to protect her.
Money, influence, and power should not be something that's used, right, or abused to hurt innocent people.
Perez has filed a motion to dismiss Demore's complaint, asserting that the Baker Act and other legal proceedings she has undertaken were rooted in legitimate concern for her daughter's safety.
The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office tells us they stand by their memo. Memorial Healthcare says they can't speak about Demore's case because of the pending lawsuit. We also contacted Life Skills South Florida and have not yet heard back. BSO told us the incident involving Demore is now internally under review. Amy Viteri, NBC6 News.
Yeah, I'll be suing a whole lot of people, including my mother.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. Yeah, that's why I sent Jay the video, because this is the same person that runs Rock Nation. Jay-Z does not run Rock Nation like people think he does. Oh, he's a boss and all that. Jay was taught by Leo Cohen and Steve Stout how to put the right people in position to do your daily business, so that when you can be an artist and get rid of Dame Dash. That's all it was. And Dame said this shit by 10 years ago, I can't fuck with Jay like that no more because he got a snitching over it. And Sway, he was on Sway in the morning show, and Sway was like, "What you talking about?" He was like, Desi Perez. That's her mother. Her mother don't like her husband because he's black, and she said that same thing. Like, he ain't never did nothing to me. Oh, he beat her up and all that. Got a Baker Act. I'm out here in Florida. Once somebody gets you Baker Act, that is a serious allegation, and your life is fucked up. And that's what she did. So she's connected to the same situation with Tory Lanez. And I seen this video earlier today. Somebody shared this video. And then not only that, man, they brought up, I kept seeing people in the comment section and the dude in the video was like, if you think this is bullshit, look at what happened to Chris Brown and Rihanna. This bitch had something to do with that same shit. Right, so this is why we seeing what Tory Lanez is going through, and then his lawyer, when Tory Lanez got rid of his first legal team, and right before he got locked up, and I don't know if y'all remember, his lawyer separated herself from the case. It was Sean Holly, the same person that's trying to get Corey Holcomb fucked up, and they was talking about this shit last Tuesday. Like, this is some bullshit. Corey's like, man, I had to make sure my shit was right before I even called this bitch out. My shit right. And Craig Fax was like, oh, you remember I sent you information about another rapper who's locked up. People don't even know is locked up. And Tory Lanez, I know Tory Lanez. And we talked about this shit. Now Corey like, yo, yeah, we finna go ahead and go at this bitch and put all this information in. The same bitch, Sean Holly, got a show with Morris Chestnut that Jay-Z helped produce, and the name of the show is called Reasonable Doubt. And when you go through the episodes, the name of the episodes come from different song titles of his album. Like, this shit is fucking deep. Like, these white folks don't care about Jay-Z till they need a nigga.
I fucking knew it. Yeah, but I think they got her blood and DNA so they can clone her ass and just motherfucking take her ass out.
Like, she probably Cuban. Yeah, she Cuban, ain't she?
Cuban or Colombian.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I wouldn't be surprised if it runs. Like, look, for Rock Nation to be the music
it's the Rock
label that it is, obviously it has power. Obviously it's going to have influence in certain places. That helps out. I don't want to get into conspiracy theory about it. I know Rock Nation has something to do with influencing the Tory Lanez shit, because we know about all the threats and shit that were levied against motherfuckers. But their reach, I don't want to get into conspiracy about it, because look, what that lady did to her daughter is just fucked up. But that's what happened when you let motherfuckers in Florida set stupid ass laws. They can just pick your ass up off the street and somebody will say something.
But what the reason why I sent the video so you can show it is because she's doing the same shit to her daughter that happened to Tory Lanez and Chris Brown. And then you got to remember, she helped bring down the cartel. Now, Jay-Z is a former street dude from the 80s. And you mean to fucking tell me you let an informant work for you? Like, this is not shit we're making up. Desert Perez is actually publicly known as a fucking informant that brought down the cartel. So, as an informant that works for the feds, is totally different from local police.
Exactly. Fuck Jay-Z.
That's the guy you chose to name your company after. Put it together. I rock hoes. That rock. For real, man.
This shit, man. Nas better get the fuck away from Jay-Z, man. He know he don't like Jay-Z. Jay-Z a bitch, man. He been sold his soul. Jay-Z told you, I'm not a rapper. Jay-Z said, I'm not a rapper, I'm a hustler.
Well, I'm letting y'all have it. Y'all go ahead with y'all shit.
You know me. Jay-Z is a bitch. He been sold his soul.
I don't like Jay-Z, you know that.
Yeah, and Jay-Z is a bitch because when you see all this shit, as a real street dude, you not going to have a bitch who brought down a cartel run your company. Matter of fact, when it comes to the corporations, them people that look,
you would. When you think about it, you would.
No. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. Them people that got that, not our skin color, but the palm of our skin color, they're not gonna even fuck with it like that unless it's hidden. It's not a secret that she did what she did. How the fuck you gonna sit up there and tell me that you been helping, like she helped you with Rihanna, Chris Brown? So I get it. Jay-Z would do that because he sold his fucking soul. But if you're a real street dude, you're not gonna do no shit like that. Not a real street dude. Because you already know. I'm just saying real quick. And Hurricane,
I don't want to go that way. We going too far out the door.
No. You're right. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. You're right. I'm just saying this is shows the possibilities and the power that this woman has because she did it to her own daughter. This is why this case is pivotal. She did it to her own she Baker acted her own fucking daughter.
We also got to throw in, like, because I think a bigger one outside of just the mother, or at least on this last one that we covered. You ain't talking about the laws down there in Florida where somebody can just snatch you up off the street. Like, her mother could have power and could coerce somebody to do something, but like, she couldn't have did it without that law being there. I think that's the bigger part. Like, why the fuck do y'all have a law where they can just fucking pick your ass up if somebody say something? That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what I said. That's why I brought it up.
That's crazy. Like that's my bigger concern than what the mother is, because I don't know about all the other shit y'all talking about. But that was my biggest concern from that video. I'm like, you can call the police on me and say I'm doing this, but then after test, you prove that you ain't got no drugs in your system, and they still got you hemmed up in like some help center type shit. Like, that's crazy. That's more concern than me.
But listen what I'm saying. That's why I brought it up a moment ago. That is a law in Florida that somebody can Baker Act you. But not only that, the shit that shows the proof that you are not a harm, you're not doing drugs, you don't got no medicine prescribed, that's where the power comes in at. Because once they do the Baker Act and they do all the tests, you're released. I've seen that shit in my own community with people that went through that, right? Once they go through that, they're released.
Well, it could be, because I know I got hemmed up before in the city I stay in, and it was for some. Honestly, I don't even know why the fuck I was in there, but the judge was like, "I'm gonna drug test your ass, and if it come back negative, come back positive, your ass gonna stay in jail." It came back negative. He still sent me back to jail. So I'm like, this is in Alabama. So I'm like, that's why I can't say the power yet, because I know how the system works. The system don't give a fuck about what's right and what's wrong. Think about it. We cover in the Tory Lanez case. No DNA on the gun, no gun residue. Fucking nobody else was tested. Like, the guy saying it wasn't him shooting. And he's still.
But you're proving my point, though. But Jay,
I'm just saying, I'm not going to that lady because I don't know that lady.
No. Listen what I'm saying, Jay. You're proving my point. The judge overrided that. When in actuality, that was not supposed to happen. I just told you. I know people in my personal life that once they got Baker Act, right, and then they did the test and everything, they was released. So for something like that to happen,
you said it was a power. I'm telling you, in Alabama, they do the same thing. That's what I'm saying. That whole power shit to switch it to her. I don't know this lady. That's why I'm not trying to defend her, but I'm not trying to talk about it either. The power part, where you trying to say
I'm not saying,
shows you, they do that in other states all the time. Like, you'll have
no.
They do nothing. He's still locked up.
No. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're proving my point. And what I'm saying is, the only way that happens is if they override it, right? If you mean to tell me you went through the same thing and you still went back to jail, right? And I'm saying in my state that the only time that happens is if they override it and go against the facts. But what I'm saying is the people I've known and seen that went through that, these judges did the right thing. Just think about it like this real quick. When they talk about child support and you have females online,
you still trying to implicate her. That's what you're saying. You know, implicate her. I'm just not a part of
that. No. Listen what I'm saying. I'm not saying you wrong for what you're saying. All I'm saying is, if somebody has the power, to override it, it would happen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just not with the conspiracy on it yet because I don't know much about it.
I'm gonna send you some stuff tomorrow.
Nah, I don't see that shit. That's not something I give a fuck about.
No, you gonna see that shit. No. Because if you gonna tell me, no. I gotta call you out, brother. You my brother. I gotta call you out. If you mean to tell me if I can send you something. No, I'm just saying real quick. If I can send you something you don't want to see it, then you are taking up for the bullshit.
I'm not taking up for the bullshit. I just don't want the conspiracy. I don't care about the conspiracy of it. Tory Lanez sitting in jail with evidence outside of what Rock Nation did. That's what I'm saying. The whole Rock Nation and her affiliation with Rock Nation and shit don't matter to me. I understand about the threats and stuff because we all done heard about it. But when it comes down to it, with the evidence that was presented in court, the man shouldn't have been in jail. And now we got extra evidence that was not shown in court that was withheld, and it's coming in and showing that he shouldn't be in jail. I don't care about the conspiracy. That ain't my concern. This nigga, I'm talking about this nigga shouldn't be in jail.
So I got a question for you. Hold on. I got a question for you. So let's go back to what you said with the evidence. How do you think that could happen if there's no influence?
If Rock Nation didn't have nothing to do with it, have you ever seen a case where you can see some corruption in there, but Rock Nation wasn't a part of it?
Yeah. But hold on. I'm glad you asked.
Corruption is all around. Like, look, this happened in California.
No. But hold on. This is why I got to correct you at. When we seen the Trayvon Martin case happen, got arrested. Hold on, we got to go there real quick. We got a few minutes. If we seen the situation that happened with Trayvon Martin, who would you put that on? Would you put that on his family being a bad family, or would you put that on the state?
That's my point. I'm saying corruption happens everywhere. No matter, like, I'm not trying to pinpoint Rock Nation on something right now. Even without Rock Nation, they do this shit. We've seen it multiple times. I agree. I said I'm not trying to fucking put the strings together and get to that. I'm saying, like, at least when it comes to this Tory Lanez shit, we know that it was a kangaroo court because the dude got railroaded with evidence proven against it, regardless of Rock Nation being there. We saw it with Johnny Depp. We saw it with goddamn fucking the other actor, the black dude, Kane the Conqueror motherfucker. Yeah, Jonathan Majors. We saw it with him. Like, so I'm saying, think about it. That was in California. This one was up in goddamn New York. This shit, man, like, it don't matter about. I don't want to do the. I'm not trying to draw the lines.
But hold on. But you know what the difference is? Difference in these situations? Who's the most involved in Tory Lanez situation, trying to prove that Tory Lanez is guilty? Versus Jonathan Majors or whoever. Who's the main people that is Rock Nation is the main motherfuckers that's involved in the shit. Wait, hold on. Hurricane, you go. Hold on. Hurricane, you gonna feel me? Hold on. Hurricane, you gonna feel me on this? Watch this.
I know.
Watch this. No, but see, this is the difference. Hold on. You right, Jay. Please excuse me. You right, Jay. You my brother. You right. But the difference in Jonathan Majors, who came out trying to say that Jonathan Majors was guilty still after he got found guilty? Now, don't do all that extra shit. Fuck your cat.
I don't know. Cool.
Nobody. It was just the media. Now, in this situation with Tory Lanez, who's the main people fighting to say that Tory is guilty still?
There's a lot of people. I haven't heard
No. I said no. Oh, you did. You just played the fucking video, Jay. Who was the person that came out for Meg?
Who was the spokesperson for?
Hold on. So Meg's lawyer. Hold on. Meg's lawyer worked for who?
Oh God, Jesus Christ! No, I'm not getting into that. I told you.
No. I'm gonna let my plane. Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna let my plane here.
I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that.
No. Hold on. No. Because we got 15 minutes left. Who was the person that came on Kumo's show? And hold on, no, fuck it, because you know you finna lose. Who came on Kumo's show? Hold on. Who came on Kumo's show and spoke for Meg?
Her lawyer.
And who is her lawyer appointed by?
Megan Thee Stallion.
No, it's
Rock Nation, nigga, stop it. Thank you, Lexus.
Rock Nation is paying for it, but it's representing their client. I'm not look. I'm not getting into a conspiracy. We can do that in the back chat. I don't want to.
That's
do
not
it
a conspiracy. Hold on. That is not a conspiracy, Lexus. Real quick, because you answered, Lexus. Hold on, no. Lexus, is it a conspiracy?
Jesus Christ!
Fuck what he talking about, Lexus. You just said Ben Spiral, whatever, work for Rock Nation, right?
Yeah, he's their lawyer. I mean, he's representing the
client of Rock Nation.
Yeah, of Rock Nation. He is a lawyer. Representing that artist.
So Jay, real quick, you get in the show because I know we got to get the 2-hour mark. We got at least 10 minutes left. Is that not what we just showed not too long ago, or is that a conspiracy?
Look, I agree with you that Rock. I saw.
Thank you. That's all. We get in the show now. 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 We get in the show now.
We got to go around the room because I don't know. He drank a Red Bull.
I won.
It's not a competition. Damn. What the fuck?
You started it. I won.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Hurricane first. Hurricane, give me your final thoughts on the show, and let the people know where to find you at.
Great show as always. Megan ain't shit. The whole team ain't shit over there. And you can find me at Hurricane JW. Right. You can find me at Hurricane JW. I got revolutionary music and content, home of the Fuck the Government podcast. Shouts out to everybody.
All right, now next we're going to my girl, Miss Alexis from Texas. What you got, girl? What you got?
I think it was a good show going over the information. Like I said earlier, I'm glad y'all went over it. I'm gonna be on any YouTuber female comment head that was talking shit if he get exonerated, and I'm gonna tell them that they need to start calling because to me this is just like how the men that get accused of rape and they find out that he didn't do it, and like those females should be locked up. It should be like that in a similar sense. That man, if anything, they should put charges on, because if he had not got falsely accused, he wouldn't have got stabbed up like that. Like there's a whole that need to come down on her head and Rock Nation's head, because that's y'all lawyer, that's y'all people. You know what I'm saying? That's your man's. Let's go on and sum this up. And like I said, I don't like it because I'm an actual person that has had that experience of being shot. And for you to lie and say that you were, and then all these females trying to act like it was a domestic, man, y'all better stop. Free Tory.
All right now.
Free Tory.
I'm about to say, you got anywhere you want them to find you at, real quick?
Nah, I'll be around, especially in Texas.
All right, then. All right. So you final thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm glad we did the show, Jay. I'm glad we talked about it earlier because you already had your mind what you want to show. I'm glad that so I was able to say, the perspective where it was going from. And if y'all heard the show from beginning, middle to end, then you know what it is. If not, the reason why this was important because we got so many dudes like the guy that was on the show. Oh no, that don't make no sense. He lied. Oh, why wasn't no bullets in the car? Because of bitch ass niggas like you got an innocent dude in jail. And I'm gonna say it again because I said it earlier. The reason why Tory didn't say anything because the evidence should have showed that he was innocent. Meg lie and say, "Oh, you was running your mouth with the blogs and all that." I ain't see shit about Tory saying nothing. That was TMZ reporting every fucking thing. It was not Tory Lanez. It was TMZ. And then she put it on him, but we know that, hey, Meg is fucked up. She need therapy. Stop saying, "Oh, you up here trying to harass me," and all. Bitch, this man trying to get fucking free. It ain't about harassment. You fucked him over. Your bitch ass friend fucked him over. Yes, this man needs to fight for his fucking freedom. And on some G shit, I'm so tired of people like them. We didn't get a chance to do it, but we want to make sure, you know, we can end the show like we need to. But at the same time, I'm gonna land and say this real quick. It's fucked up that everybody else plays a part in why our community is separated until we start saying what's wrong, what's right. And I'm gonna say this also real quick. I know I'm calling out a few. I know I'm calling out. Matter of fact, I'll say right now, a fuck nigga's a fuck, a pussy nigga, a pussy nigga, is cute, but we at the end, it's like, I can take from fucking, somebody with that, you know what I'm saying? I got good, and I'm on their side. I'm not on fuck nigga's side. Because they fucking up the community, same as a bitch like Megan Thee Stallion or Kelsey is. And real quick, last thing, Jay, I was right. I won the argument.
All right, then. Hey, look, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, man. I ain't finna have no final thoughts, man. Making live. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Whether you watched over on Facebook, Let's Talk with JVJ, Let's Talk with JVJ on YouTube, or on the JVJ network. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share. When you turn them notices on, make sure you click all, because YouTube will turn them off, even if you turn them on before. And if you're feeling foggy, become a channel member. But outside of that, man, we trying to grow, so help your brother out. And we're going to get the fuck up out of here. Catch y'all in the next one as always, man. Peace.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.